Moving on, we've got a really good fight in the welterweight division between number 5 ranked Rafael dos Anjos and Michael Chiesa. And, you just most recently saw Michael Chiesa. I think his last fight was against Diego Sanchez. Sorry, guys. Usually I have this shit written down, but I have to keep looking stuff up to make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, Diego Sanchez submitted Carlos Condit before that, losses to Anthony Pettis and Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee, there was all that debate, right? I think it was a matter of time before Chiesa did end up tapping in that position, but whatever. And in the Diego Sanchez fight, you got to see like what brilliant jiu-jitsu Michael Chiesa has. But Michael Chiesa was also a lot bigger than Diego Sanchez. And I'll tell you what, Chiesa is a hell of a fighter, man. He's a really good fighter. But in that fight, when you're fighting a guy like Diego Sanchez, who is older, who has been through so many wars, I think that Chiesa could have done more to get Diego out of there. Like it just kind of looked like, have you ever been in the gym and you're just like rolling with someone who's worse than you, and you can just dominate them and stuff, and you could throw them in arm bars and like do whatever you want to them, right? To me, it just felt like Chiesa was just, he could have kept that pace up for as long as he wanted and kept dominating Diego, but why not throw some more strikes down? Like, you made it obvious that you're the better jiu-jitsu player. Now either hunt for the finish a little bit harder or be a little bit more aggressive with your ground and pound to get the TKO win. I don't know. I don't know if he just realized that he was going to be able to dominate Diego and he had respect for Diego, I don't know, man, but it felt like he could have hunted a little bit harder for the finish, and for whatever reason just chose to continue to roll with him. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was, like I said, it was a brilliant performance and it was dominant and he got to put his jiu-jitsu on display. And Diego Sanchez is no fucking joke on the ground. But I think that he could have, if he really wanted to, gotten Diego out of there. My problem with this fight is that Rafael dos Anjos, even at welterweight, has really only lost to some of the top guys. Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. And Rafael dos Anjos is one of my favorite fighters to watch fight because he's so good at everything. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's constant, like you saw against Kevin Lee. Like, Kevin Lee would put him in like some dangerous situations, but RDA is just so goddamn composed, man. He's confident in his skills, and you never really got the feeling that Kevin Lee was going to finish Rafael dos Anjos. At least I didn't. Like I said, he put him in dangerous situations and stuff like that. But to me, it just kind of felt like RDA is just so goddamn good at defending himself. Like, it's hard. It's going to be very hard to submit Rafael dos Anjos. So, I mean, how many times has he been submitted in his entire career? One time. And he's got like 41 fights to his fucking name, right? So I think that Chiesa, his biggest weapon is his jiu-jitsu, and I don't think that he's going to be able to submit Rafael dos Anjos. Also, like, there's something to, like, you could be a black belt, but like there's something to being a black belt and like implementing it in MMA. And to me, Rafael dos Anjos is one of the best examples of like jiu-jitsu that's super effective for martial arts. Like I said, not only from his offensive perspective, but just his ability to defend himself and set things up and escape in practical ways. Like, there are so many things, like I practice jiu-jitsu in Nagi a lot, and there are just so many things that I do that in a street fight or whatever, if someone's trying to punch me in the face, just wouldn't work. Rafael dos Anjos has like great jiu-jitsu for MMA, and like I said, I just don't think that Michael Chiesa is going to be able to get him out of there with his jiu-jitsu. I think that dos Anjos is always going to be able to defend even if he gets put in trouble. And I think that Rafael dos Anjos is going to have a decided advantage on the feet. He has good boxing. He has good kicks. He's a veteran, and he's so goddamn composed. And he's been fighting at 170 for a while now. I think this is like his 5th or 6th fight. You saw him beat up a guy like Robbie Lawler. He ran through Neil Magny. I mean, I just think that RDA is going to be able to nullify any advantage that Chiesa would have on the ground, and I think his striking is going to be better. I actually wouldn't be surprised if you saw RDA start to wear on Chiesa and land a takedown himself as the fight goes on and finish this thing via submission. I mean, I don't know. RDA it's so hard to predict this one just because RDA has so many different ways that he could win. And I don't want to discount Chiesa, but I just think this is a big step up in competition for Chiesa. And like I said, RDA, if you want to study a true martial artist, like study RDA. He's so goddamn well-rounded. He's so good everywhere. He's one of my favorite. Rafael dos Anjos is by far one of my favorite people to watch fight. So fundamentally sound in everything that he does. Yeah, I'm taking Dos Anjos. It might be a decision, but I think that I think he could get Chiesa out of there, and I just don't think Chiesa has what it takes to get Rafael dos Anjos out of there. Hey guys, thank you for tuning into the video, and if you guys like what you heard and want to see more, hit the subscribe button below. Give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on what you thought, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. Thank you again for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Bye-bye.